What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The World According to Briggs, a channel about locations. In my videos, I like to give you some stats, some stories, and my opinion. These videos are for everyone, but really they're directed towards people thinking about moving someplace. Hopefully I can give you a little information that you can take and maybe do some more research on the town, city, or state in question. When it comes to research and really life, sometimes you get a softball right down the middle. I mean, something that's just so easy to do. That's what happened to me this week when I started researching the negatives on Jackson, Mississippi. Happens to be the state capital. Jackson is officially named the city of Jackson, but people just refer to it as Jackson. It was incorporated in 1821 and is nicknamed the Crossroads of the South. And it's right here in case you aren't up on your Mississippi geography. About 165,000 people live in the city. Just under 600,000 live in the entire metro area. The last time I was in Jackson was 2009. It was for a funeral, not a vacation. Actually, I don't think anyone ever goes to Jackson for a vacation. I don't even think they have a tourism department. One thing that was obvious during that visit was how vacant this city was. There was hardly anyone around. It was kind of weird. You know, a couple cars here or there, and people weren't really walking down the road at all. If there were, they're like one or two, not like, you know, groups of people. It was really strange. The one thing I really noticed that kind of shows you how vacant it was, parking lots were empty. And this was like a Thursday and a Friday I were there. Saturday was the funeral, yeah. So like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I was there, and there's no one around. It was really weird. While doing the research, I realized that Jackson's been losing residents for years. In the 2010 census, they had almost 175,000 residents in the city alone, and now it's estimated they have around 160. Find out next year during the census. But hey, maybe you lost a bet and have to move to Jackson, Mississippi. Before you go, you should watch my top 10 reasons not to move to the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Number 10, teen pregnancy. The teen pregnancy rate is through the roof in Jackson. Mississippi has the second highest teen pregnancy rate in the country, despite having a 60% decline between 1991 and 2017. What was going on with these kids in 1990? That's insane. There were about 31 births per every 1,000 teens, and 17% of those were girls with their second child. Yeah, that's alarming. Overall, it's recorded that 62% of all pregnancies here between teens and women of childbearing age were unplanned. They've got a lot of surprises going on in this state, in this city especially. It is so bad you'd think that the high schools should have like nursing rooms and changing tables on campus. Number 9, unemployment. Don't come to Jackson needing a job. Currently, the unemployment rate is 4.3%. That's a full point higher than the national average. However, the rest of the state is even in worse shape. They're at 4.9%. The unemployment rate in Jackson is 69% higher than the national average. You know it's bad when people are lined up 20 deep to interview at a Dollar General for the night shift. Number 8, they're miserable. According to the Gallup Healthway Wellbeing Index, those who live in the Jackson area are among the most miserable residents in the country. And when I say miserable, I mean they just don't feel comfortable. Things aren't good for them. I'm not talking that New Jersey miserable to be around type people. The area is ranked a 5.59, which means nothing to anybody unless you probably work for the Gallup Healthway Wellbeing Index, but it recognizes them as the third worst in the country. This takes poverty, unemployment, and health statistics into consideration to determine the well-being of the residents. Jackson seems to be doing horrible, so I mean, hence they're miserable. I'd be miserable too if I was turned down for the night shift stock boy at Dollar General. Number 7, education. The public education system is horrible in the capital of Mississippi. Overall, Mississippi is ranked last in the nation for education, and Jackson's public schools are some of the worst in the state. The graduation rate has gone up about 10% within the last 5 years, which is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, that's great. The student-to-teacher ratio is about 7% higher than the country's average. That's never good. I'm sure the graduation rate will be much higher in the future if they keep working on the teen pregnancy thing. It's hard to pass an anatomy class when you really only know the human body from a recreational point of view. Number 6, it's in a red state. This is something you'll need to take into consideration, especially when moving from a blue state. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being Republican or conservative, or Democrat or liberal, or whatever. I'd give the same advice to you if you were moving to Portland, Oregon about being in a blue city in a red state. Jackson is a blue city in probably the reddest state in the country. If you move to Jackson from a more liberal state, keep in mind that the rest of the state may not share the same views as the people of Jackson. Take my advice, just understand your situation. Don't talk politics here. It's really not worth the headache, especially these days. It's getting nuts out there. Number 5, the obesity rate. The obesity rate in the city of Jackson is out of control. Currently, the obesity rate is the second worst in the country for adults, with 37.3% of the adults being considered obese. Now, the children aren't as bad, with only 14.5% of the children being considered obese, and that's 23rd in the country, so the kids are doing better. Obesity can cause many health problems, such as heart disease, arthritis, binge watching the cooking channel, and more. Jackson also has very hot summers, and hot weather is not chubby person weather. 3 feet outside your front door and your t-shirt is soaked from sweat. I think they should outlaw deep fryers in Jackson, maybe convince everyone to go for a walk, I don't know. As of 2010, there were 183,000 reported cases of heart disease, and by 2030, it is estimated that there will be over 815,000 cases. At that rate, by 2050, they expect nobody over the age of 12 to be alive in Jackson. Number 4, it's dirt cheap. So, some of you may be wondering, why is dirt cheap a bad thing? Well, the dirt cheap isn't the bad part, but why is it dirt cheap? If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that if every stat but cost of living and housing prices suck, there's a reason. The main reason here is nobody wants to live in Jackson, Mississippi. When a place is dangerous and run down, humans, if they can, go elsewhere for a better life. And in this case of Jackson, elsewhere is almost anywhere. You could take one of 4 major routes to beat a hasty retreat. You have the 20 west or east. If you take it west, keep driving till you get to Texas. Don't stop in Louisiana if you don't need to. If you take it east, drive straight through Alabama, stopping only for gas, slow down around Atlanta and think about it. And then drive to Charleston, South Carolina, you'll be fine. If you have an armored vehicle, I suggest you head north on the 20. When you get past Memphis, you'll no longer need the armored car, so trade it in, get something more economical that you can get cheaper car insurance on, and then head to Nashville and have a wonderful life. If you head south, go past New Orleans, walk into the Gulf of Mexico, and swim to Belize. You'll thank me later. Number 3, it's not for families. According to, well, just about everyone, Jackson may not be the best place for families. If the other 7 things so far on this list didn't convince you, I'll tell you, Jackson is not a good place to raise a family. Out of 150 cities that were analyzed, Jackson ranked 148th in health and safety, 146th in education and childcare, and 148th for its economic environment. Not a good place to raise your families. Number 2, natural disasters and a dead volcano. Jackson, Mississippi gets everything but tidal waves, Godzilla, and earthquakes. That's the good news. The bad news is they get hurricanes and tornadoes. Like large parts of Louisiana and Mississippi, Jackson was in the path of Hurricane Katrina, among many other hurricanes. According to the NOAA, Jackson is the 4th most at-risk city for tornadoes of all the metropolitan areas in the country. In 1966, one of the deadliest tornadoes in the state's history hit Jackson. The Candlestick Park tornado, which has nothing to do with the old stadium in San Francisco, killed 58 people and injured hundreds, destroying the Candlestick Park shopping center. Something else that may be very alarming to most of you, the entire city is actually built on a dead volcano. Although the volcano is long since dead and it last erupted in the Cretaceous period, it still makes you a little bit uneasy knowing that there's a volcano right underneath you. I'm sure at some point they thought Mount St. Helens was a dead volcano. Who knows? We got one here in Portland too. Mount Tabor. It's a dead volcano. Got houses built on it and around it, a nice park on it. Hate to see it blow up. I mean, they have a really cool soapbox derby race there every year. Hate to see that be taken away by lava and an eruption. And number 1. Poverty. It should be no shocker that the city of Jackson is a little high on the poverty list. They are in Mississippi, which has been on the top 5 poorest list since, I don't know, about the Great Depression. It's almost like they grew to like the lifestyle the Great Depression afforded them and decided to stick with it. Unless you live a very secure and stable life, picking up and moving to Jackson may not be the best idea. Currently, around 33% of the city's population lives in poverty. The median household income is just $35,000, which is significantly lower than the nation's annual income of over $60,000. That's a combined household. That's like 2 people working. It's about $60,000. In the city of Jackson, Mississippi, it's $35,000. Almost half. It's not good. And that's probably why there's so few people in this city. There's not jobs and not good paying jobs. Nobody's moving there. The poverty level in Jackson is about 103% higher than the national average. Those are not good numbers for anyone, especially if you like to do things like, I don't know, pay your bills and eat. Alright, so that's my top 10 reasons not to move to the city of Jackson, Mississippi. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Jackson's been, in a bad place for a very long time. Good people, just in general, the city just kind of sucks. Anyway, don't forget all the links below. Subscribe if you already haven't. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.